Welcome to the CSR Universe Leaders Talk segment. I'm Ruchika Kumar, and joining me today is our esteemed colleague, Dr. Shweta Singh. She is our consulting editor. And today we are excited to shed light on a remarkable partnership that's shaping the landscape of STEM education in India. Tecnimont Private Limited, TCMPL, a subsidiary of MAIRE Group, a global leader in energy transition and infrastructure development, has teamed up with the prestigious Indian Institute of Technology, Bombay, to support the Women in Science Engineering Initiative, which is fondly known as WISE. This initiative is a game changer, inspiring young women from rural areas of our country to embrace STEM education. This is led by IIT Bombay, and additionally, Tecnimont's support plays a pivotal role in realizing this transformative vision. Hence, this collaboration showcases the convergence of corporate social responsibility and academic excellence. And today, we are privileged to have with us Ms. Valentina Grieco, MAIRE Group's CSR Senior Specialist, and Professor Rajesh Zele, a distinguished faculty member at the Department of Electrical Engineering in IIT Bombay, to share their profound insights into this visionary collaboration. So without further ado, let's extend a hearty welcome to our special guests. So a very warm welcome to both of you, and thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so this question is open to both of you, but since this initiative has been led by IIT Bombay, so I just want Professor Rajesh to, shed some light on the genesis and the background and the idea behind WISE initiative. And in that, you could probably, highlight the challenges that rural women in our country, especially girl students, face, and how are you addressing those problems with this initiative?
Yeah, thank you, Ruchika. So the beginning of this program happened during COVID times.
Okay.
So I had an opportunity to interact with girls from rural parts of India. And during that interaction, I realized that the power of women, in India. And I felt that, through their questions, I felt that, as they grow up, they go for higher education, they are kind of, losing out in a big way. So we wanted to encourage them so that they could participate in the science, technology aspect of their education a lot more. And that's where this whole program started. So I started working on this program. It took about a couple of years to develop the entire thing. And what I really wanted to do was, how do I get them excited and ask the right questions and get really fired up about, STEM fields.
Right.
And bigger picture I had in my mind was more to let them continue whatever education they want to, that they desire, and not get married after grade 10, because that's a major issue that we face here in India. Is the girls get married off quite early, and then they choose or they make convenient decisions about their further education to kind of so that they can continue supporting their family. So that's where this whole thing started. So
okay, great. So Valentina, now I would like to ask you, how did this collaboration come about? What inspired Tecnimont to extend the funding support for this initiative?
Yes, you see, we started cooperating with the IIT Bombay since 2021. So we had already in place a kind of partnership in terms of support of higher education. But we were searching for something more vertical on gender equality side. So when Professor Zele proposed us this initiative, and to support this initiative was really the right match on our sustainability objectives in terms of strategy from group level to foster gender equality in our sector and to create impacts locally in India. As you know, we are an Indian group. We are an Indian Italian group mainly. We are based in Italy, and in India we have a lot of presence. So India is a really pivotal country pivotal space for us.
Mm.
Especially in terms of education, because we have to create the condition today, but especially tomorrow, for our high-level professional to enter the workplace, the work market. And this initiative is really forward-looking in terms of creating the right condition to have the participation of women in our sector, in engineering. So when Professor Zele proposed this initiative, was really, let me say, encouraging in terms of also support by the management, because we saw the potentiality of these initiatives in terms of real impacts today, but especially for real impacts tomorrow. On CSR side, I coordinate all the worldwide initiatives, and this is one of the, let me say, more impactful due to the number of girls impacted, and also on the possible space to explore, to expand these projects. So really, the cooperation with Tecnimont PL and IIT Bombay is fruitful because of this, because creates the condition for future evolution in Indian market, but also to create the condition to a better and a more balanced presence of girls in engineering sector.
Okay, great. So, Professor, coming back to you, can you share and elaborate the exact program, like how the parameters, the criteria of selection of students, and what does the entire program entail? And maybe Valentina can then add the contribution part, the support part from Tecnimont.
Yeah. So I have a very interesting story to tell, specifically about the Tecnimont interaction, and it's very inspiring what they are doing in this field. So I come from an institute called IEEE, Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers. So with their help, specifically there is a society called Circuits and Systems Society. So with their support, we started this program, and we were going along with about 36 schools from Maharashtra. Because in the beginning, I wanted to do this only in Maharashtra, because I wanted to see if we can really chew on at that scale, and see how it succeeds. And while this whole thing was developing, Tecnimont came along, and they enabled schools from all over India. So really difficult places where there is a Naxalite issue, and kind of my heart really went for these kids. And I got a feedback from the teachers who are working there that the kids over there are really looking forward to. So we were able to reach out to these really difficult places, and bring in students from Orissa and also from Bihar. Okay. And it was just amazing to see them participate. I was a little bit skeptical in the beginning, because in the beginning we thought that, oh, this is going to be a total chaos, right? Because all these girls from different places coming in. When it was from Maharashtra, things were under control, because we had a second language, Marathi, which we could use, if something breaks down. And now, just before the program started, we had to translate everything to Hindi, and I was extremely concerned how it's going to pan out. But unbelievable success we got, and the students from all these areas, they had no issues understanding both English or Hindi, and they were able to participate with their full will. Now, coming back to the nature of the program, what I really wanted to do was, I wanted to give them a taste of what a student life is when you're going for higher education. So, we could have done it online, but in my opinion, online doesn't really work, right? So I wanted them to, soak it into the atmosphere. So I wanted to bring them over here on campus. I wanted them to live here for 1 week. I wanted them to hang out with us, with all the students, and then experience the life over here. So a lot of that's a lot of work. It's almost like having 5 weddings in 5 days. because so many people are coming together, almost 200 people we have to make arrangements. But IIT Bombay, really saw through this. Our director and all the administration stood behind me to make it happen. During the program, we really wanted them to be under like an intense experience. And it was an experiential program rather than just listen to something, right? So the morning sessions were all about women who were from disadvantaged background, who shared their stories. And there are many of them. You can find the videos online, and they are truly inspiring. I mean, and including Valentina, she was on the last day, and she kind of shared her cultural background, and it was very enriching experience for the girls. And that's what we heard from the feedback that we got from the girls afterwards. Afternoons were all about hands-on things. We wanted to give them a confidence that nothing is impossible for them. I mean, right now we are coming fresh from Chandrayaan 3, right? And we thought that was impossible, and we have achieved it. Right? We have landed a rover on the moon, whereas these girls, they started from simple things like a light bulb, and on the second day they built their own FM radio. On the third day, they did a whole bunch of electronics experiments, which you could only do it, after getting so much education. On the fourth day, they built their own rover, which was remote controlled. Similar to the one which is going out on the Chandrayaan, except that it was a smaller scale. On the fifth day, the final day, they actually flew their own drones. So all these things they built with their hands. The technology we developed in our lab kind of made it such that they can easily put things together, they can follow instructions. And the whole intent of this program is that anything is possible. If your mind puts your mind to it, anything is possible. So I think that really hit it home with these girls. I saw when they left, many of them were crying, and it was a heartbreaking experience for me to see them cry, because we all fell in love with each other. It was such a wonderful experience. They didn't want to do IIT Bombay. And so, after the whole program was over, about a month later, I actually visited many of the schools, and I got to see these girls who participated in this program. And it is unbelievable change that the teachers are telling me that they are confident about themselves. And they are able to participate. They talked about the program in front of the whole school. So wonderful to see all this change that 1 week can make in them. So very, very happy with the outcome of the program, and really thankful to Tecnimont for making an impossible task of bringing in kids from really remote places for this program. We're very happy. Thank you.
That's commendable. That's commendable. So, Valentina, coming back to you, what has been your experience, and how, what the kind of support are you providing in this initiative?
Yes.
And also, I also one more thing. I'm sorry, just wanted to add. How has your contribution, enriched the curriculum or the content of this week-long residential program?
Okay, basically this support is in partnering IITB to make all this initiative possible. And also in get in touch with school and parents locally. That is very pivotal, very essential to ensure the success of this project, because as you can imagine, in certain cultural backgrounds, social backgrounds, the support and the involvement of parents is really part of the plan, and is really game changer in terms of also of long-term sustainability of this project. Yes, for the time being, we coordinated with IITB to ensure this kind of contribution. So basically, economic contribution for sure, but also logistical and contact contribution on field, because we are in BR and in Disha with our operations. And that is also the scope of this initiative for us in terms of local impacts. Because once we stay in a territory, we also try to live value, to create and to live value. And this program is totally coherent with this perspective. So from our side, let me say, the contribution is also to create contacts, to extend the network of this program locally in different sites, to ensure wider, let me say, impact in terms of connection with school, connection with the communities, to ensure that is a really nationwide program, possibly, and to expand these powerful initiatives as much as we can.
That's amazing. I think my colleague Shweta
I
has
just wanted to add one more thing about Tecnimont here. I think Valentina is very modest here, right? So, what's interesting I found with Tecnimont is, they have plans in India, and they want to contribute to the actual location where their plants are.
right,
And
right.
I thought that was a very noble thought, and they enable the kids in the neighborhood of wherever their plants are.
Love.
And that to me, it's a great way to help the society, because what we see is many corporates, they just financially contribute and all those kind of things, right? But here there was a solid thought behind, where they really wanted to lift people wherever their plants are, and you really wanted to contribute to their environment, wherever. So that's really wonderful.
Wow.
Yes,
Thank you, Valentina.
good points, because usually in our strategies, sustainability and CSR strategy, we look forward to, let me say, to connect with the more social disadvantaged group, and to leverage our possibility, our funds, and our also knowledge to uplift the condition of these social disadvantaged groups. So is really the real purpose of CSR, let me say. So as a corporate, as a big group, as an industrial group, we have the responsibility to do it, okay? This is our contribution to the community, our contribution to the social development of the country. So that's why basically the opportunity to extend to BR and Orissa locations, this project was really pivotal for us, and we wanted really a lot.
Wow, amazing. I think Dr. Shweta had a question. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, basically what I wanted to know, now that you have a curriculum there in place, a one-week curriculum, is it in a position to be replicated, say, by another IIT in collaboration with another corporate? Because this is
Yeah.
a program, and if it can be,
I forgot your name. I don't see your name here.
Dr. Shweta.
I'm actually, yeah, Shweta.
What is it? Shweta. Thank you, Shweta. You asked a very interesting question. So when we pitched this idea to IEEE in US, this was an international forum where we pitched this idea. And what was interesting was there were people from all the African countries, various countries. They really wanted this program to be executed in their countries also. So I just told them that, just be patient. Let me try out this one thing. We wanted to create this module first, and we wanted to see how it works out. And then once it's done, then we will roll it out to anybody who wants to do it. So the intent of this program is not just keep doing it ourselves, right? So whatever we have done, we're going to make it available in a public domain for anybody to replicate. And you just have to. So there is a term I have coined here called Winspirers. So Valentina is, of course, our Winspirer, women inspirers, because the program is incomplete without women who are inspiring. So you just have to add your Winspirers from the local area, and then the program can be executed anywhere in the world, pretty much. So the content that we are developing, it's kind of biased because I'm from electrical engineering, so I know electronics, electrical engineering very well, but we are developing a lot more stuff, which is more from mechanical engineering point of view. I would like to add some of the civil engineering point of view. So all those kind of things we wanted to add there to make these girls comfortable that, hey, I can do anything. This is not the boys thing anymore, right? Anybody can do all these things. It's just the education, it's just the right steering that we need to give them to get them excited. And reaching the girls is not it's actually just the first step. More important is to reaching out to the parents, and also to the teachers, so that these girls are treated very, very delicately when the career decisions are made. So those are the important things we are kind of stretching ourselves further so that the effect is sustained and it just doesn't dissipate 2-3 weeks after the program.
So, Professor, how does IIT Bombay ensure that this WISE program is not only providing exposure to the girls to STEM education, but is also, giving them an opportunity to make informed decisions and choosing their career paths later on?
Yeah, so see, I feel that the IIT Bombay students are, extremely lucky because, the rate of acceptance at IIT Bombay is an order of magnitude harder than any one of the US schools. Okay, so they are very, very special when they come into IIT Bombay. And I feel that it's their social responsibility to mentor the kids who don't make it, or the kids who are because of their situation, they are kind of falling behind. So what we are trying to do here is, for this program, there were more than 70 volunteers who were helping us. So it's not like, just me handling everything, right? There were 70 volunteers who were working for 3 months to make it happen. So these volunteers are going to kind of mentor the kids, and we will have a mentoring session with these kids over long periods of time, so that if there is a doubt in their head in future, we are there to support them. And not just support in terms of thinking, but also if there may be a possibility that somebody gets into financial disadvantage, so we can step up and help them.
Okay. Valentina, and you were talking about the specific engagement tools, like you said that there is an important need to bring in and convince parents.
Correct.
So how did you go about it? What did you do? Were there any sessions, workshops held with them? What was the entire program about?
Yeah, but basically, we started contacting the principals of the schools. That is very first point of contact, and then engaging this family of the students was the next step. So through the school contact of contact, we engaged also parents, explaining the opportunity basically that was behind WISE project, not only in terms of making a 1 week full and intensive course in Bombay, but also to have the possibility for those girls to be mentored during time. That is basically the very higher value of this program, because the parent is, let me say, sure that their girls are part of something special. They are also aware that their girls are special, because this project was basically also to make more visible the potentiality of women, okay? Because in some way, in some cultural context, there is maybe the perception that they can do it, okay? They can reach higher levels of education, they can reach some sectors. And the very first contact with parents is essential in these terms, because we can, let me say, educate and mentor the girls, but if the family behind doesn't give the right support, also in terms of empowerment, also in terms of the right impulse and the right boost to keep this interest alive, half of the let me say, the effort is missed, okay? So the engagement of the parents is really, really essential in this project, but I think that in any kind of project involving girls or boys, and especially in this, it was, let me say, a challenge in itself, because in some areas, rural areas, also the option to this girl to take a flight to move to Bombay was a really new experience, a really unknown experience. So to let me say, reassure them that was everything safe, that everything was under control, that was IIT Bombay behind all this, so very reliable, let me say, partner, and Tecnimont Private Limited coordinating and supervising everything, was really let me say, the game changer in this sense. So families, parents, and community environment are part of the project, are part of the beneficiary of this initiative, let me say, because girls are for sure the main target for us, but also to expand the culture of women empowerment and gender equality in their community is part of the plan. Is not, let me say, negligible as part of the initiatives, because we have to involve all the community in this development program. The girls are for sure our first, let me say, objective, but the community is essential as well.
So how many girl students have you reached through this initiative, and the geographies, if you can mention?
Yeah,
Right now,
yeah, please.
go ahead.
Yeah. And I can give the wider numbers, but please, Professor Zele, go to the details.
So there are 160 students, girls, who came here. They're all from 9th grade. And Maharashtra, 36 schools, and then 5 schools from Orissa, Bihar, wherever Tecnimont plants are there. And we also had 25 women, teachers who were from science, math background. Because we wanted them to be there to observe, but not participate. That was very important for me. So this whole thing was executed so that, it's only girls program, meaning, no other person was allowed to come in, so that the girls can really open up when they ask the questions. So when the Inspire sessions were held, generally Inspire will tell their story or their journey for about 30 minutes or 40 minutes, and rest of it was question and answers. And the girls were amazing. And they were so, what I would say is they were so bold, and, in asking questions, because they knew that, this is their opportunity. This is their chance to break the glass ceiling. And it was just unbelievable experience. And I'll share with you, I still get goosebumps. I was the only boy in that whole thing. And they accepted me as one of their kind, and they were very open. We touched up areas about mental health. We talked about menstruation, and they were very, very open about all the questions. And I'm so proud of all of them, that they really participated. You will not feel that they are any different from girls from any one of these advanced countries. So tremendous amount of empowerment here.
So what was the response of the principal or the teachers or the school staff to your initiative and the way that...
Yeah. So interesting story about that, right? So one of the things, I don't know about you, but Rubik's Cube is really hard to do. So I had my son is a really good Rubik's Cuber, and he has his whole team. So I gave them a challenge that, hey, you guys have to teach these girls how to do Rubik's Cube. And I'm very concerned because whenever he goes into his things, there is maybe 1 or 2 girls who are doing Rubik's Cube, and there are 90 other boys doing Rubik's Cube. So I wanted to change that. So here was an opportunity. And so we had the girls learn how to do the Rubik's Cube. So interesting part was we gave them really high quality Rubik's Cube. And then the teachers were sitting behind and they were saying, hey, what about us? Why aren't you giving us the Rubik's Cube? So I kind of knew that will happen. So we had extra Rubik's Cube and we gave them. And the teachers were also able to do the Rubik's Cube. So, they were participating. They wanted to fly their own drones, but that was a little bit difficult. So, so they were there. They were involved. But they were observers. I wanted them to be the observers, because when these girls go back to their schools, I wanted them to nurture them, all this fire that we have ignited in them. So
that's very motivating.
I had just one more small question. Actually, when you reached out to these schools, 36 schools, did you give them any kind of parameters on what kind of students are you looking for? Because there would be many girls. So how did you choose the number of girls?
So the originally when we started off, right? See, it's very difficult to control everything in these kind of things. And no matter what I do, I'm going to make somebody unhappy, right? So I was involved with the Commissioner of Maharashtra, Education Commissioner of Maharashtra, and Mr. Venkateshwaran and Mr. Lad. So I've had these meetings with them early on, and I told them it's your discretion what you want to do, how to choose these girls. So what they did was very interesting. They said that, the top of the class girls will always get an opportunity anyway, right? So we want to choose girls who are kind of borderline, who are almost going to fall off the cliff in terms of their education. So the girls who actually attended the program, they were, in their opinion, they were kind of academically disadvantaged girls. So who will lose interest who are most likely to get married after grade 10 and not pursue the education. But when you see these girls in action, I mean, you can watch the videos, you will not think that these girls are any of that. I mean, they are super smart. They were very, very communicating properly, and they were lit up. So I think that was the best thing that I could see there, because the smartest ones in the class, they always they will make it no matter. Yeah. So some of the student interviews, they are also available online on our website, and you can see them. You can see the interviews, and specifically the interviews from Barauni, Orissa, and Bihar and Patna, and unbelievable amount of power that they show. So very, very impressed. I mean, yeah.
Wow. So Valentina, coming back to you, how does Tecnimont actually, measure the success of these initiatives, and are there any key performance indicators that you look at while measuring the impact?
Okay, so basically, the first indicator is the number of girls, because for us it's a very much a great impact in terms of both number and extension, because we are present with this initiative in 3 states in India. So this is a very interesting and essential KPI. We are now thinking about how to monitor some other indicators in terms of during time understand how we can create changes, because it's not only the today impact in terms of how many girls, but how these girls benefited from the initiatives. That is a real impact that we would like to measure, and we are elaborating now some indicators, some KPIs to modelize these initiatives in terms of monitoring during time, education initiatives as it is, but also women empowerment initiatives, because there are also some more qualitative, let me say, impacts than quantitative. That is higher and a bit more difficult to monitor and to evaluate and understand. That is the right, let me say, way to for us to understand how this social initiative could create the change, activate the change, and also impact in the lives of the beneficiaries. This is more difficult for us. So apart from the numbers, apart from the quantitative KPIs, that is for sure one of the main aspects that we have to monitor, but also the qualitative aspects of the initiatives is needs, let me say, follow up, needs to be there to understand the beneficiaries, to bring, let me say, some evaluation impacts, and to collect feedbacks from the beneficiaries. That is a long, let me say, long journey for us.
Okay, great. So I think we have to wrap up the interview, but before that, I would want both of you to share your closing remarks, especially on the future goals of this partnership, and how do you envision completely educated and empowered India, especially the girl students?
Valentina, go first, yeah.
Okay, no, this first year was really, let me say, impressive for us. We have to close the let me say, the first cycle, and it was the first year we approached the WISE. So for us was totally new, and also really encouraging in terms of the reaction of the girls, reaction also of the community, the teachers, the parents, and also the how the let me say public received this initiative, because we received a lot of compliments in terms of what a wonderful initiative, what a wonderful experience for these girls. So the feedback is really positive in any sense. Okay. So now we have to elaborate how to upgrade, let me say, or to give a boost, a further boost to this initiative. And we have to discuss with Professor Zele on this in terms of how Tecnimont could keep sustaining, keep supporting these initiatives, also in terms of long effects, long impact, as I said before. We have to consider how we could, let me say, sustain and support these girls during time, because it is essential to onboard them today, but we would like also to have a view on their future, to have, let me say, some impact, some let me say aspects to and some value to be added during time, in order not to lose them, because the main let me say objective of this initiative is to keep them interested in STEM opportunity, in STEM careers, and possibly in the next future to have them as engineers, as technicals, as mathematicians and scientists in India. So we would like to elaborate a little bit on how we could contribute to these long-term, long-lasting efforts for these girls.
Amazing. Yes, so can we have...
Yeah, so, you know, I say that this is just a beginning. We just touched the surface right now. And you know, I think there is a long road ahead of us in terms of, you know, how do we, you know, it's like this, right? You watch a drama, you watch a movie, you get affected by it, but you get affected for a short time. And then how do you take all that and, you know, distill it into your day-to-day life?
Right.
So there is a lot of work that these girls have to do to take it forward, because you know, we have done our bit right now to just give them a step up, or as I like to call a lift. They were very lucky that they were selected in this program, and we were able to connect with them to give them this exposure. But there are so many more. There's so many more that we could help, and we are still working out a program. How do we expand this further to reach out to as many as we can, and then how do we multiply? How do we without losing the intensity of the program is what is more. Because we don't want to do something like an online session where there are 1 million girls attending this program and it doesn't go anywhere, right? That's like Amazon, Netflix show. It has to be experiential. It has to be where you're forced to do things with your hands. So yeah, I mean, it's a long road ahead of us. Keeps me up at night many times to how do we do more with what we got. So thank you so much.
Amazing. It was amazing talking to both of you, and we like to extend our support wherever you want it from us, in with whatever way we'll be there for you to support this amazing and wonderful initiative. And I just want to say that, you know, this initiative fueled by this amazing partnership between Tecnimont and IIT Bombay shows that when passion and collaboration meet, possibilities become endless. A big thank you to both of you for giving us this opportunity to have this conversation today with you. It was completely enlightening and insightful. Thank you so much.
Thank you to you. Thank you.